And welcome to the Keisha's Creations Let's Talk. So today I'm going to be doing a video just based off of spiritual journeys and awakenings, okay? So I'm going to jump right into it and tell you about my spiritual journey, okay? And where I'm at now within my spiritual journey, okay? So my spiritual journey, well, first of all, I kind of want to say that I just felt like this knowing, okay? So as a little girl, like fresh out the womb, okay, being introduced to life, I always kind of felt like, you know, I knew this place, I've been here before. But however, I didn't understand why right at the time, like I want to say maybe as a toddler, I'm just gonna say those ages. What am I supposed to do in this big old world? You know, but my soul knew. Does it make sense? Like humanly, like, okay, big people, big things. Oh, you know, I see this happening, see that happening. You know, observing other people's, you know, how they're interacting as a child, as well as realizing some of the things I'm learning I'm capable of doing. You know, when we first learn how to crawl, when we first learn how to stand, when we first learn how to say mom, dad, those things, you know, when we first learning that our language is not just a universal sound, which is that goo goo gaga talk that kids have. That's them talking in their natural tongues, you know, to the source, to the universe, to where our creation starts within sound. So when I started making words, I realized that for one, my tone, I started to realize, wow, you know, I don't have such a little, you know how everybody got your own little voice? You know, you got your own voice. Your voice is unique from anybody else's. You know, I realized my voice, the tones in it, the undertones. I'm like, okay, I am feminine, but also too, I have like high tones and I have low tones. So I realized then that, hey, my tone actually can bring good things to me or attract negative things to me. So for a long time, I want to say when I probably got like about 11 or 12, I started to realize that, you know, I needed to be more quiet and more observant because I noticed my tongues, if that makes sense. Like, I always felt like I spoke another language, and actually I did take up other languages in high school. I was very like one of those kids that were like a very, you know, nerd. I was very nerdy, but I was cute and nerdy. So, you know, growing up in the Mid-South, you know, back then, growing up in that type of society in the 80s and 90s, you know, us black girls, you know, girls of color, you know, it was so much, I want to say immaturity going on. Now I can say that. Lack of knowledge to love, self-love, whatever shade of brown you are. And that's one thing about me, you know, I can always say I've been attracted to all colors and, you know, creeds and everything, but I love myself, you know. I love my melon. I love the body I am in, you know. I've learned to grow to appreciate it. You know, I struggled with it at first as a young girl because, you know, I had to kind of like not be the nerd I was at that time now to just be the pretty girl, you know, and inside I'm like bubbly, I'm witty, I'm creative, I'm imaginative, I'm a visionary. So I can read like not just words, but I can read into things. I can read into space. I can read into time. I can read into the universe. Like I can see clear. And I want to say, you know, that on my spiritual journey was another thing that just made me really want to just go into my shell, my cocoon, you know, because of being exposed, you know, grew up in the church girl, you know, all we know is the Holy Spirit, Jesus, you know, and all those other names, but we don't know about the universe. We don't talk about the stars. We don't talk about the moons, you know, dare to do so, you know, so I always kind of felt a little, out of place, and maybe, you know, like I needed to blend in more. So that's when I started taking the seat back from speaking from what I saw and can still see to like, let me just be normal. And I'm gonna tell you, when you're on that spiritual journey, when it calls you or you're being called to remember that you're here for your spiritual journey, I'm going to tell you, everything that you try to do that is not of you, you're going to immediately, for one, become aware of it. And then two, you're going to like start to go through this questioning phase. Does it make sense? You're going to start going inward and questioning the universe. Like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm experiencing this because I want to seem like everyone else. And, you know, that was a struggle for me for a bit. You know, now, I'm not going to say it was to the point where it was like my whole life, because I always still managed to listen to self, listen to the guidance that was given to me through spirit, through God, through channeling, you know, through using my gifts that I kind of kept, you know, to myself at times. Like, a lot of people who knew me, though, knew that I, you know, had these extra gifts, meaning these extra senses. Does it make sense? Which we all have. Mine was just automatically activated, if that makes sense. Like, and I'm grateful for those experiences now. Does it make sense? Because I trust myself. I trust what I see. I trust what I feel. And I trust what knowledge comes to me. I trust what I have to share. I trust my experiences. You know, that's another thing about, you know, becoming like part of the fifth dimensional, you know, awakening for me. Like, when you awaken once, you don't just stay that way and that's it. Spirit elevates you more and more and more if you're here to be on your spiritual journey. And know this, no matter how many YouTube videos you watch, no matter how much books you read, no matter what anybody else tell you, including me, your journey is going to be your own journey. Does it make sense? Meaning you came here into this world, this earthly world, this dense 3D world that's becoming 4D, and hopefully it get to a 5D, whether we're still here living or we already transcended. Does it make sense? To the next level of life, meaning, you know, transitioning physically from the body. Your spirit, one thing I've learned, I'm telling you, I had a lot of out-of-body experiences. I've been through some things, I'm gonna tell you. Whoo, you be like, you made it through this? Yes, I did, and I still go through. Okay? It's just how I deal with it now versus how I dealt with things and saw myself then. I saw myself like how a lot of people living, you know, see themselves. It's like, you know, let me not know who I am so I can just put all my trust into, you know, others. I'm gonna put it like that. Others. Whether there's beings, living or non-living, seen or unseen. I'm gonna ask you this question. Have you ever met that person that you're praying to? Have you seen them? Like, have you seen their spirit really like come and speak with you and show you anything? Do you have visions? Like, if you don't, that's okay. But don't blame anyone else who does have visions and who do see clearly and who do commune with the spirits that's been with them on their whole journey. You know, and like I said, that's been a lot of my awakening, to the point where I can read just without having to read. Does that make sense? Like, it's this knowing, it's this whole divine connection. And I want to say I've had a lot of things in my life to happen to get me further on my spiritual journey. Why? Because I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I've been able to see so many things. I'm telling you, things that will probably, like, one day, let me know in the comments. Like, if you would like to know about some of my super, like, weird, like, miraculous, I'm going to say amazing and not amazing at the same time experiences, like real deep details, like, where I know Spirit was with me and who I am, and it woke me up to know who I am. I know who I am. This is just my temple. This is my body. This is my creation. I'm co-created with God, with the universe, to come here this lifetime and, you know, share some of my experiences with you all, or not even if it's a particular experience, to be able to give some light back to you guys on your journey. You're not going crazy. You know, you're a good crazy, if anything. Does it make sense? Full of light and love. Like, I noticed, like, you know, when I was more stressed out, man, I looked older. Like, have you ever felt that way to you, you know, 40-year-olds? Like, I'm 40, you know, if you're younger than me or above me. But, you know, it's like, I love my skin. Like, I don't care what nobody think about it. I love my skin because being a girl of melanin, you know, and just in general, whether you look good or don't look good on the outside, like, loving you completely, like, that's me right there. That is totally me. I do want to say also too, like, just to be, you know, just trust the process of your journey. like I said, your journey is not going to look like anybody else's. Mine's most definitely is mind-blowing. Like, I can't wait to share some of my experiences with you. Like I said, you know, trust the process, trust the journey that you're on. You know, try to give thanks every day that you wake up, you know, because it's a reset button. Don't stay stuck in tomorrow. Be in the present so you can manifest your future. Because when you get to a point of total awakening, like a total awakening where you're completely connected, you realize that we're all connected and nothing never dies, not including our spirit. This person that we're still seeing, we see it outside of the body. Like, we can go into out-of-body experiences. I can tell you about some of mine. I can tell you about a lot of my experiences. Like, I'm telling you, I've had some experiences that I would love to share with you guys before I leave this universe this time. Does it make sense? Because I plan to ascend, okay? And go back and be with the gods. All right. So if you have any more questions along your spiritual journey, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button. Don't feel afraid or ashamed to leave your comments or your questions. Like, that's what I'm here for. Like, let's be there for one another, right? Let's shine some light when we can. Nobody is alone in this journey. I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable with you all. So I would like for you guys to continue to be vulnerable with me and love and light. And that's all I have for you. Bye.